Welcome, fellow last placers, to another episode of LPF Debrief, where we discuss movies, we talk about series, and just give our opinions, Easter eggs, and all those good things that you expect in a podcast talking about TV shows. So I've got my co-host of this, I guess. I'm just
We'll give
one day
it
I'm gonna nail it.
we'll
One
give it
day I'll
three out of
nail
five.
it.
3 out of 5 for that
Yeah.
one. We'll get there.
One day I'll get it, but you know what? So for now, I'm just going to, hey, it's a busy week, all right?
No, I feel you. I
Uh,
feel you.
so as always, I have Chris, and as always, we don't have Yendi, so here we are shaming him. So today we are going to talk about What If, episode 4 of What If, which is Doctor Strange's episode, which is basically the episode. The what if is if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hand, which gives you the idea what we're going to start talking about,
Spoilers, by
which
the
I
way.
thought
Spoilers from this point. I
spoilers
almost
for
forgot.
sure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all
Yeah,
that good stuff,
yeah.
and I'll let you know about the mouse giveaway at the end. But
Yes.
Chris, what do you think about the episode? First impressions.
First impressions. Whenever I read the episode this morning, I was like, when he loses his heart, like, what is that gonna do? And then I saw what happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yikes. So
Mhm.
episode was great. My wife was actually really interested in this because Doctor Strange is probably her favorite character.
Yeah, she
Besides,
likes the magic
yeah,
side
yeah,
of
yeah,
MCU.
yeah.
We,
She
we
likes
discussed
Captain
that.
America's looks, but
Yeah.
likes Doctor Strange's
Yeah.
powers. Yeah. So it was very cool to see. I enjoyed the Watcher being more a part of this episode because he is part of the magic side of
Well, it made sense because Strange would be the one who would be able to see
see,
him,
yeah, to
like
see and
what I
sense
mean,
him,
or at
which I
least
thought was
sense his
awesome.
presence. So
Yeah. So and also that freaking I love the freaking silhouettes, man, that they keep doing.
yeah,
Because in the beginning, right in that opening episode, it's the city and him standing there. I was like, man, that is so freaking cool. I love it. I'm obsessed with that look. Uh, Great story. Not another.
dark episode. No,
Yeah,
this
it
was
was.
dark.
Yeah, this was a very dark episode. It got very sad. It ended
Mhm.
sad. It was just like even the ending, the tone. I was just like, well, like basically telling you like that's it for that universe. Like it's gone. So like, and I was like, oh, ouch.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about it?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I am really enjoying these what if stories, and as a person who's read the comics and stuff like that, these stories have always been my favorite because you can do things that are really fun. So you're not what's the word? You're not constricted into telling like their storyline because this is like it's almost like fanfare also. Like what if any of these things happened? And it's always been something like what if what if um Deadpool fought the DCU, like I mean the MCU universe, like all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really fun that you can do these and still have like a serious tone, which I think what this show is doing really well is that you still have your comedy, but it's also giving us these very serious tones. And this one was super serious and very dark. Like, and it was kind of different from what the Doctor Strange movie was also because if you remember the Doctor Strange movie is pretty fun and it has its serious moments, but this was like a really heart wrenching, and it was supposed to be, and it did its job. And basically, Strange loses Christine, and this episode started basically with the what if changing it because in the movie Christine doesn't actually go to with
To
him to
the
this trip.
award, yeah.
Which yeah, so that's basically from the top had already started with the what if changing. So if you were wondering what the moment was, it was she actually accepted going to the function, and this is why basically everything changed from there. We found out some really important stuff, but we'll get into some of the cool stuff. Doctor Strange's car, every time it fell into the water, was exactly the same as the movie. So it fell in the same exact way. I don't know how many people remember Doctor Strange, but we also saw the cool moment when he gets the Eye of Agamotto and he does the apple thing, which he did in the movie also.
Yeah, but the
Also,
animation of the apple looked cool. Like I
I
like that art
know.
style. That was really,
I
really
think
cool.
that is something that is really, really cool about this show is that it's super like the animation to it is really capturing. So like all even the fight scene, right? The
Yeah.
fight scenes were like so dope because the animation and the way that everything looks and the camera work they're doing.
It's
I
funny
think
to
like
think that because every time we see animation, we're like, oh man, I wish this was live action. And the fact that we're
yeah,
seeing live action go back into animation is
yeah.
just like, whoa, this is.
It actually shows you the state of animation, I mean, anime, cartoon, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People still gravitate towards that stuff because, I mean, really, as a kid, we were kind of trained to watch cartoons. Like, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, that was our enjoyment. So, us seeing it in a serious tone doesn't really affect us, especially when you had like Family Guy and all these shows that kind of like I used like cartoons to kind of ease people into it, and it's a sense of comfort, I guess. So you're right. I think it's cool that we're going to animation because you can do shows like this to where you don't need to hire the live action cast, which tends to be more expensive anyway. So I think it's cool that they're being able to go to things like this. We learned something really important in this episode, and that was the Ancient One explaining that there's absolute points in time. And I feel like that's going to be a major, major, major factor in a lot of the things that happen going into other storylines because absolute points are basically meaning like this thing has to happen. So
There's no
like
changing it at
yeah,
all.
there
Yeah.
was no changing it. Even though like for Strange in that universe, Christine's death was an absolute point in time. It had to happen. Like there's no working around it. There was no. It's the same thing as Doctor Strange basically was meant to become the Sorcerer Supreme. Like there was just no changing that. So I think having those kind of like benchmarks is really good for us because then it's kind of like, hey, this thing has to happen. So like I'm going to start like using some theories and assume like Avengers, like them coming together at some point in certain timelines has to happen. Like you know what I mean? Or the idea of it, which is what I think the Nick Fury episode. I feel like him wanting to get them together is an absolute point. Like you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what else that goes into because I feel like knowing that Strange is going to be in Spider-Man, that maybe Peter figuring out Peter's identity being revealed might be an absolute
I
point.
don't think it'll be an absolute point. I
I
think.
listen, I'm just saying, I'm just saying. This is me with no context, no watching the trailers. I'm just saying if like you know what I mean, Peter has to try to figure out a way to and I feel like this is why we're gonna see Matt Murdock, but that's a whole nother episode. But anyway, I feel like Matt Murdock, my perfect scenario is that Matt Murdock is the one who tries to get Peter's name cleared, and that's what happens. You know what I mean? Which I think would be cool. But I feel like they're probably can make it a way to where they're saying this has to happen. Like Peter has to get his identity revealed. So we'll see.
I got you. That montage of him trying
Hmm.
to save Christine
Oh
is
my god,
so upsetting, bro. Like
it's
he waited, yeah,
heartbreaking.
waited on passing the truck, takes the other way, gets hit by a car. For me, it
Mhm.
was when they go to the diner. Like they
Yeah,
go to a diner and they try to sit and eat, and then it gets robbed and
the
she gets
dude.
shot. And
Yeah,
I was just like, "What the?" Like
yeah.
even Brie was just like, "Why is this happening?" And that's when it
Hmm.
clicked for me. I was like she's not allowed to like live.
Yeah.
It has to happen."
Well, because in
So
that universe, in that particular universe that he was in, had to happen because if that Strange doesn't see the death, he would not seek magic. So even though our Doctor Strange, he lost his hands and that's what made him seek the magic, that wasn't a outcome for that Doctor Strange in that universe.
yeah, because even
You know what I
him
mean?
leaving, because at one point he does leave her there,
Hmm.
but at that point he already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So he's just drinking, and then the building there was an
Yeah.
explosion and everything like that.
Hmm.
So he never drives by himself to
Yeah.
go. Like he never has the thought of like maybe if I go to this thing if I get in the car accident by myself, what happens?
Yeah.
So and plus our Doctor Strange was. I felt like he was a lot more. I mean, Doctor Strange in general is cocky, but for me, the one that's in the universe, in the normal universe that we've been watching, seems more cocky, and he was just a lone wolf. He's just like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I can do this by myself, blah blah blah. And this
Mhm.
one was just, it seemed like he was cocky, but also he was just like, I'm in it for the relationship, also.
Well,
So
I mean, he was in love, and that was
yeah,
pretty much
the gist of it.
I think yeah the gist of it, and also they I think our Doctor Strange didn't really have like he had that connection with Christine, but it's not as apparent as this one
Yeah.
clearly is, because now she's willing to go to the seminar and stuff like that. So I think they have a different relationship, and that's why. But the goal is Stephen Strange has to seek out magic, and in that universe, that's his way of seeking out magic. In our universe, his hands breaking was seeking out magic. Um, so I thought that was dope. The Cagliostro reference was great. The character that
The what
actually
now?
was
Hold on.
in
What?
the Cagliostro, the
Oh,
book.
oh, yes, yes, yes,
That's
yes,
the
yes.
area
Okay,
that
okay.
he's in,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
library. Yeah.
I was like,
So yeah. So O'Bannon, I think it was his name. But I forget his name. It starts with an O. But he's actually the person in the comics. But they kind of went with no, he's not here, kind of thing. Which, what I don't know
well,
why they
why do
would
they
do
keep
that.
doing that? They'd always
I
do that
feel
for something.
I feel like it's so weird. Like I just like I get sometimes like sometimes I do understand why you don't want to reference a character, but I feel like it's like he's already there. Like
Just
why
do it.
wouldn't you make that the character? I
We get
don't
the
get it.
joke. You
But
like teasing us, but you've done it a little bit too much. We're like,
yeah, but
okay,
like
we get it now.
I get it. I get
Especially
it.
with Loki. Like, I think Loki set that
Yeah.
point.
It's just weird. It's just weird to me. It's like, why are you making like, and that's another, he actually references that book in the Doctor Strange movie also. So that's also dope. I think the turn that he made and just started to like absorb other beings, that was insane to me because it was like,
It was a flick of a light switch, bro. He went
yeah,
from gnome to like,
yeah,
okay, that was easy. Let me keep. He's like, I need more, and I was like, all right.
dragons
And
and
then
like,
the beast kept getting bigger, and then you just saw
yeah,
the darkness in his eyes start to grow, and I
yeah,
was just like, okay. I'm like, he's bad now. I got it.
yeah.
All right. But
No, he was crazed. It was just crazed with power, and he just wanted to figure out a way to try to break time, which is something that Doctor Strange's characteristic is. You can't tell him he can't do something. It's just always been a thing. He's always going to seek out ways to prove that he can do something. And that's just the way it is. It's that is within his character. It makes perfect sense to me that he would try this Doctor Strange would try that because he doesn't feel like he has any limits.
yeah.
So this is and you telling him he can't do it is just going to make him want to do it.
And
So
also now whenever he conjures the not conjures the whenever he brings in the bug with the cape,
mhm, yeah,
um I really want to see a side story of the bug going back in.
yeah,
And you're like, what happened to you? He's like, this bitch stole my cape. And he
yeah,
just trains, and there's gonna be an episode of the bug and him fighting because that's the
yeah.
only one to survive.
I mean, yeah. So
it was
that was
it was very
crazy.
weird. Was there any like um hidden monsters that was like
Well,
a reference to
they
anything? Or
referenced the same one in Agent Carter, which is who I think is Shuma Gorath,
okay,
the
yes,
tentacle thing. That's
yep.
the same monster. Some of them were pretty like standard, not like really too much into. I know some of them. I think there was like a couple that
The
have
bat
had.
thing
Yeah,
made me think of Batman, but obviously that's
I
not
know.
in
Yeah,
the. So whenever I saw it, I was just like, wait, what?
yeah, that doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, they had a couple that are like in the Marvel universe, but nothing like too crazy. Just Strange just sees all this weird stuff anyway because that's just his characters and dealing with the magic and all that stuff. I did find it super interesting that they had I did find it super interesting that when he absorbs one of them, I forget, and he has that like red, like the chaos magic kind of thing, which is the same as Wanda.
Hmm.
I thought that was cool because remember when Wanda first makes the area when she makes the area in WandaVision, all that chaos magic kind of like comes out,
Yeah.
and then he had that same kind of thing happen to him. So I think it's cool that we're seeing chaos magic, and just that was just like a small subtle thing that's bringing their characters closer because we know they're on a collision course for Doctor Strange, madness into the universe.
I also
So
thought the turning point whenever as soon as he brings in is it the dragon that you first see the transformation in his face? He looks like as soon as
it
you
starts
see
to
like the
thin.
demon face and everything I'm
Mhm.
like, that's the transition into like him going like, no, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and he's
Mhm.
flipping that coin. Also, the fact that the Watcher comes in and he's like, he's on the wrong path, and he's like, I can step in right now.
Yeah,
And I was
and
like,
he's
hold up.
yeah. I mean, he
So
could, and he's made that clear, which is He's like he could intervene into these things, but he can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could totally swap it and fix it and do all that
But it
stuff,
would
but he
mean,
just
I mean, he explains
yeah,
why he couldn't. He's like,
exactly.
it would ruin everything. It would ruin every other universe.
Hmm.
So, I thought that was really cool. Just a little bit more explanation, and like we said before, Strange sensing the presence and knowing he was there,
Yeah.
was really
Because it was
cool.
subtle. At the first one was subtle. It was
Yeah,
just like, is someone watching me? Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? And then later on in the episode, when like he fully breaks through that thing and is like having an actual conversation with him, which I thought was amazing because it's
yeah.
so cool that he's like, "Look, you can help me. You can change this." And he's like,
He's
"Yeah,
like,
I
yeah, I
could, but
could.
you also decided to do all this.
Yeah,
Like, this is your doing. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not only I could help you, but now I don't want to help you
yeah.
because you went on this crazy path on your own." So another interesting thing that the Ancient One mentioned was the two universes essentially happening. I mean, two timelines happening in one
Yeah,
universe.
they what if
Which,
us. That's
yeah,
what I said.
which I mean, let's think about this. You know, the Spider-Man. Listen, listen. I'm just saying, Spider-Man is. This is. I feel like watching this episode, and I'll tell you this: watching this episode made it feel like we were getting a prequel to like how the universe works just for Spider-Man. It was like, listen, guys, there's anything is possible in this next movie. So maybe there's two timelines, which will explain why we have all these villains that were in the Sony universe in the MCU universe. So listen, I'm just saying, this is all possibilities. If you can't tell, I'm super excited. So this little like I do like how Marvel is slowly giving people a way to digest the multi-universe, like the multiverse, because it is and can be very overwhelming. So seeing these little tidbits and getting all this little information, I think it's going to help make those shows and those movies better because when you watch these next Shang-Chi, I think is going to be a little bit more grounded, but when it comes to Eternals, the next Spider-Man and Doctor Strange,
It's about to go
people
off.
can get lost quickly. So I think just like digesting all of this is a good thing. I don't think it will be necessary to watch this, but what I'm saying is it's a good way to start digesting the possibilities of all the craziness that can happen in those three movies because the Eternals could have also intervened in Infinity War, and they're going to explain in that movie why they couldn't
Mhm.
because they did in the comic books also. So I'm just going to assume again theories because I don't watch trailers. So, but yeah, so I think it's super cool what they're doing with all this. I think when the Ancient One splits the Stranges, I thought that was super cool because now you do open up that possibility, like I just said, of two timelines existing in one universe, and then now we can see a lot of other things happen. Like you know, what I mean, so many more possibilities can happen. So I'm interested to see where we go from here, right? Because I think we're just gonna be on some this crazy path for, like I said, the next couple of movies is just gonna be pretty insane.
Yeah.
So
Also, I'm ready to see Wong again, man. I miss him. I didn't
yeah,
realize how much I missed him until this episode, and he's like, he's deteriorating, and he's just kind of
yeah,
like he's still himself, he's
yeah. He's
himself.
just like, bro, he's like, come on, man, like. But Wong is just like, I told you, man. Like, what he was like, don't do nothing stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's funny because that relationship is always gonna be
Oh, it's
great.
so
Like
good.
their
And then the hole
relationship,
opens up, and he's like, "That doesn't look good." He's like, "Yeah, it doesn't." And then he falls
yeah.
through it.
Exactly. Like it's just their relationship is always going to be good, and it. I mean, it was great in Doctor Strange. It was great in both the Avenger movies. Like one of my favorite lines in Endgame is like, is when he goes, "Is that everybody?" He's like, "What? You were expecting more?" Like he literally brought an army from Wakanda, and you're like, "What did you want? What did you want from me? Who else did you want me to bring?" So,
So
yeah, their
good.
relationship to me is fantastic, and it's always nice when the main character has a nice side wingman or like assistant character because they're supposed to be the comic relief in most situations, and it also grounds those characters like because that feels like a very grounded relationship.
Yeah. I'm
So
hoping we see him in
yes,
Shang-Chi for some reason. I
all
feel
right,
like this is the chance. But
we'll see. I mean, you never know. Wong could be all over the place. So, and then of course the end of the episode was really, really dark. Because it was like you're in this crystal, just you and the fading person that you were trying to save. So like, if
Forever.
he needed any more, yeah, if he needed any more, like it just, gosh, like once he absorbed, because I knew that was going to happen, right? I knew that there was just no way, because it would have made no sense if I guess we could say the good Doctor Strange was able to defeat him, because he just didn't have as much power.
No.
Like it was just no way. He didn't know as much magic. Like people were literally getting old as he was absorbing all these people. Like, you know what I mean? So he was just on another level, and there was no way that he was going to be able to stop that. So I think it was a way of showing, hey, listen, if you do some messed up stuff, messed up things are about to happen to you, because you're messing with something you really, truly don't understand, because he never actually took the time to understand it. He was just like, here's my goal, and that's it. Like, I'm just going to reach my goal. I don't care how I get there. So I think it was a good lesson. And then him being stuck in there, it kind of sucks, because,
Yeah.
like, you're stuck seeing something that you caused for the person you were trying to save. So
And he's him
it,
realizing it too, that he did the wrong thing right before he pleaded to the Watcher.
yeah,
Was whenever he gets her out of the car and he wakes her up and he's like in the monster form, like all the
yeah,
like show the monster fully revealing itself. That
hmm
was really a cool moment of
yeah,
like she's scared now and it's just like he's realizing like, oh, I did all this to get her back and
yeah.
this is not
Nah,
what I wanted at all.
yeah.
So
And then the fading thing was also kind of similar to when Vision fades away from Wanda, which was one of the saddest things ever. But still, like, you know, what I mean, they accepted it. And then, of course, this was similar to WandaVision, because he dealt with the 5 stages of grief,
hmm
you know, throughout this whole episode, which was the same thing that happened to Wanda. So I think they're the way that they're making the magic people like come together and have very similar stories, I think is really cool, because it's like they have so much power, but they need a like it cannot just they need a form of weakness, and like showing little tidbits of things like this shows you, hey, look, they still have these very caring personalities, and that's a way that they could probably be hurt, but it also could make them stronger, clearly, as we saw. Because with magic, all it takes is one little thing, and then people just get crazy, and then all the power that they didn't know they have, and then you're just like, oh, what are we supposed to do to stop it? So
yeah.
overall, I thought it was a great episode, but we're gonna get to the end like we normally do. What was your favorite part, Chris?
Favorite part was that the Watcher coming in at the end there, man.
Yeah,
That moment that he had, and it's just
100%.
like he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "I shouldn't have done this, but you can
Yeah.
help." And he's
Hmm.
like, "Yeah, I could." And
Yeah.
he's like, You were told already what was
Yeah.
going to happen." And he's like, "And now I can
Hmm.
only watch. I can't
Yeah.
intervene." So that one, and also a little tidbit of the cape sacrificing itself
Yeah.
to protect
Like the
the
fight. Yeah. Which
yeah
was,
yeah.
yeah. I love
So
that cape and cape fight was pretty funny too.
yeah, so there was no big comedy moment for me except for that little
Yeah.
moment with with Wong with the portal opening up on the floor,
Yeah.
because this like we said before, this episode was very very dark,
Yeah.
very sad ending. Like when I finished it, I did not feel good. I was just
Yeah.
like, this is not a happy ending at all.
Mm-mm.
So yeah,
Nope. Yeah, for sure. And same thing. I agree. The Watcher stepping out, because the camera work to it was so perfect too, right? Because he went from like a silhouette into like
into the
the
yeah
glass breaking, which is like, the fourth wall, like, just it breaking, and then him being like in a direct conversation. And that sequence looks so cool. When you go back and look at it, you're like, damn, that happened so seamlessly. Like it's just like, and those are one of those things that where you can do with animation, that it doesn't like look like a motion blur or anything like that. Like it just happened so quick, and it just looks so good. So I agree 100%. That was my favorite moment. And then, I mean, I do love anytime the Ancient One and Strange have conversations. I love those kind of conversations, because it's like she's still there, and like the way that she like explains things to him, like, look, you're smart, you know all this stuff, and you're like, you just shouldn't be an idiot. What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? So I think overall it was a great episode. I think also we might do a video at some point when this ends of ranking all the episodes. I think that'd be dope.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we'll do that. I just thought of that yesterday. I meant to tell you, but now I'm telling you on the video.
There's
So
one
you
potential
know.
for beating my number one right now. So I'm
Oh
waiting to
well,
see it.
don't
I'm not gonna
spoil
say
it.
it. I'm not gonna say it, but
Don't spoil it.
I'm
We're
waiting.
saving it for the video.
Yeah, yeah.
More
I'm waiting to
content,
see.
okay? More content for you guys. So guys, this is going to be the end of the episode. So as always, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. We're doing a mouse giveaway once we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. So click the YouTube link, hit subscribe, like the video, do all that good stuff to help us out with the algorithm so we can do more giveaways and do more content. So if you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like, do all that good stuff. So until next time, we'll see you guys next. Actually, we'll see you guys tomorrow
Oh yeah, yeah.
because we are going to make a video. Today is Thursday. We're going to go watch Shang-Chi later, which we're pretty excited about. So please check that out. We're going to drop that video tomorrow. And besides that, till next time, Fire Team out.